Most businesses will need to file a brand new report this year, and no one's talking about it. I've got those details and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right. Do you own a business? Do you have an LLC where you've got maybe a rental property in it? Do you have a side hustle that you put in an LLC even though it's just you operating it? All of those examples are folks that are going to need to file a brand new report this year with the government, okay? And no one's talking about this. This is an enormous deal, and no one's talking about it. So that applies to you if you own a small business right now. If you're going to start one later this year, 2024, the rules are even different if you start it in 2025 or after. So we're going to hit the who, what, when, where, why, and how, all that right now. So the what and the why. What I'm talking about is the Beneficial Ownership Information Report. The Financial Crimes Network of the U.S. Treasury, of the government, has come out with a new requirement starting 1/1 of 2024 that basically all businesses that are, that aren't exempt, there's a handful that are exempt, publicly traded companies, nonprofits, some are exempt there, but LLCs, S corps, small businesses like that, you're required to file this new report for your small business. And if you open a new business or make a change to your existing business, you've got to file as well. Why? What's the purpose? You would think that this was already in place, but it's the government and Financial Crimes Enforcement Network actually trying to see, well, listen, who actually owns these companies? Or who runs these companies? And so we're all, sort of caught up, or we've seen the Hollywood dramas about shell companies and, a company is created, just hold this other company, and it's, 15 times removed. Who actually runs this thing? Well, I guess in real life, we're trying to crack down on that. And therefore, all businesses, unless the few that are exempt, need to file this Beneficial Ownership Information Report. Who needs to file this? Well, yes, an LLC. If you have an LLC, an S corp, those sorts of organizations, you need to file this form. Whether you've got an existing business, whether you're going to start one here in 2024, whether you're going to start one out there in the future, you're going to need to file this. There's a few exempt organizations, and those would be publicly traded or nonprofits. You can check the link below to get more info to see if you're exempt or if you must file. If you're just a sole proprietor and you're not incorporated or you haven't filed for an LLC, then you don't need to report. But I would argue if you are actually not doing a hobby, if you're running a side business or self-employed handyman or doing lawn maintenance or something, I don't know, you're going to want the limited liability protection. So you should really file an LLC, work with your CFP on this. But once you file that LLC, then you're going to need to you're required to file this business ownership information report. So that's the who. When? This is a new requirement starting 1/1 of 2024. So if you have a business that was already in existence before 1/1 of 24, you have to file this report by the end of the year, by 12/31 of 2024. That's for existing businesses. If you open a new business in 2024, so whether that's right on 1/1 or whether it's sometime in the middle of the year, then you're going to have 90 days from the time you file with your state to file this report. And hopefully you're working with an attorney to help you get the articles of organization and all that. And they should be able to help you file this because they'll have all the information right there. That's for new businesses starting in 2024. Well, what if you don't plan to start a business until 2025 or thereafter? Then you've got 30 days to file this report. So it seems logical, like that we would already, when you're starting a business, you would already have to go through some sort of scrutiny or sort of document, well, listen, who's going to own this thing and who are the officers, like who's actually running the company. But now it needs to be reported to the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. This is not an annual filing, okay? So that also is part of the win. This is not like a tax return where you need to file this every year, but you do need to file it every time we make a change, every time you make a change. So a change in your officer, so if your CFO leaves and you get a new CFO, yeah, you gotta report that. If you're in the process of selling shares or bringing on new partners, you're gonna have to report that as well. So anytime you're making those changes, and you're gonna have a small window of time to file the report within those changes actually occurring. So even though this is not an annual report, if there's a lot of things moving in your business, you might need to file this a lot. All right, lastly, where do you file this thing? Enough chatter about it. Where do you file it? So you're gonna wanna go to this link, okay? It links also in the description as well below. And there's a spot right there where you can click on file. How do I file? There's two ways to do it. You can print out a PDF and fill it out, or you can set up a FinCEN login and ID, and you can fill it out online. There's going to be several questions that you'll need to answer. So you'll need to know that the date of organization and ownership and those sorts of details. Other than that, if you have those documents or those details handy, it shouldn't take you too long to file. We've had some clients who've said, yeah, it took me 5 minutes. It wasn't that difficult. But you got to have those details handy. A lot of times people have wondered, or people have asked us, hey, you do my taxes. Can you fill this out for me as well? Well, we might not have, your CPA might not have all those details regarding, who's the CFO and who are all the officers. Your attorney might, and that's where, some attorneys are stepping in, especially for newly created entities. They're stepping in and saying, yep, we'll cover this for you. My guess is, on a moving forward basis after 2024, where everyone has to report, my guess is attorneys are going to be the ones that are helping businesses with that. But it's something that you could do by yourself as well. Be aware, if you own an S Corp, but you also have subsidiaries that are LLCs, or you own an S Corp, but then you have an LLC for the business. If you own for the buildings, if you own multiple properties and they're each in different LLCs, you're gonna have to file this report for each of those. And so for some of you out there that have a few different businesses that are structured differently in different entities, you might need to file a few of these reports. So work with your certified financial planner on this. If you have questions, go to these sources here. I've got links in the description as well to learn more, and most importantly, make sure you understand the timeline that applies to you, and that you go through the steps to file the report within the required time frame. So work with your certified financial planner on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or send us an email, info@korhorn.com. Right there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.